Oh, welcome to the Backpack Show where you just never know what's gonna happen. So, Carrie really wanted to talk to a farmer, and boy, have we got a farmer for you. The only problem is there's some technology challenges going on, so we might be slightly delayed on the farm scenario, but that's okay.
It's going to be really fun once she's here.
It is.
So what I was thinking was I would like to talk to somebody who has a small farm, like an independent farm in Europe, where I imagine things were different from here. And ideally somebody who raised sheep, because I haven't talked to somebody who raises sheep. And so I looked for all those things and thought, Ireland. My family's from Ireland. I'm like, that would be interesting. And so I found Suzanna Crampton of, I want to say the Zwartbles. I don't know how to say it right. Sorry, I'm totally ignorant. Ireland. And she does exactly that. She raises Irish sheep and makes wool products, and she's a regenerative farmer. So I need to know what that is. I had so many questions. So I'm hoping we can get her in here.
We'll see if we can get her to log on because, hey, it's a Backpack Show.
Hi, everyone. Tim Kitzrow from NBA Jam and NFL Blitz, welcoming you to The Backpack Show. Your hosts, Chris Brogan, Carrie Gargone, Boom Shakalaka.
Backpack Show. So I'm coming to you live from my parents' house. So I'm on the road. So they're over there. Hi, Dad. Hi, Mom. And I was taking up their kitchen, but I decided to move out here because then I'm not in anybody's way. So we're going to have Suzanna Crampton on just as soon as we get her through her tech hurdles. And boy, are there some hurdles. Hello, Janice in Houston. By the way, it's a crispy 90-ish degrees here. Hey, Deb, good to see you. Welcome. Now I'm going to do a couple quick ad reads just because we want to get them out of the way so we have more Suzanna time and less, sitting around looking at each other lovingly time. So let's do a couple quick ad reads. This show is made on a piece of software called StreamYard. See brogan.me/StreamYard. You can make your own show. Just find your own goat farmers. If you want to do a podcast, you can. Not too tricky. Just go to castos.com. Castos.com is what does our audio podcast. So if you want to look at the Backpack Show without the visuals, maybe you don't find me attractive enough, just go to castos.com. I'm going to do all the reads. You want the .online domain? You can get a .online domain for $1. Just go to cbrogan.me/online. Use the code Chris in all caps at checkout, and you can get a domain for 1 whole year for $1. Tired of using Google as your search engine? Go to Presearch, presearch.com. It's a really cool decentralized search engine made by some people who got sort of slapped down by Google in an unfair way. And they said, you know what? F you, we'll take some of your search traffic. And so they did. It's actually pretty fun. I've used it for several weeks now as my only search engine, and I have not ever run into a problem yet. So presearch.com. So everybody's saying hi to each other. And Susanna's, I guess, on the phone with Carrie because I see Carrie talking backstage and, seemingly going through some instructions. So I don't know crap about sheeps, goats, or anything else. So I guess we'll have some time. A lot of Susanna's loyal fans came to show up. So hello to you. It's 3 p.m. in Ireland where Susanna's based. So if any of you are here and want to comment and say hi in the comment section, you're more than welcome to. There's a pretty good, happy community here. What we do on the Backpack Show is we do a show that does success and insight information from unusual places. So we look around and we say, hey, I wonder if there's someone who does XYZ career, and maybe that'll be of interest. I want to make a quick note about slight amount of background noise. So in Las Vegas, my parents happened to be on the flight path of helicopters going back and forth to the Grand Canyon. And I forgot about that when I decided I was going to come do my show out here. So I'm going to get a helicopter every few minutes going to see one of nature's biggest field trips, the Grand Canyon. So that's that. Looks like Carrie's just going along with the training and the education on how to get onto the service. It's basically you open up Google Chrome, you click on a link, and then you say, here I am, and it just usually runs. But every now and again, someone gets a little stuck with that. So what else can we talk about? We can talk about, hey, Carrie, look who's here.
So any minute now, I hope.
That'll be great.
I know. That's what I think. So technology.
Hooray.
So the thing is, when you're like a farmer or a shepherd, you don't necessarily have to worry a lot about it. Here's Susanna.
Well, let's see.
Let's do it.
There we go. Hang on.
That's your button. I'm not doing it.
Hi,
Can you hear
Susanna.
me?
We
Can
can.
you hear me?
You're part of the deal. You're live on our video show. Welcome to the Backpack Show.
What a palaver on this end, I tell you.
Anything that can happen will.
First things first, how do you say the name of your business and the name of those sheep? Because I might be saying it wrong.
Okay, the name of the sheep, it's a Dutch breed, and you have to think Dutch. So it's Zwart, which is black, and Blas, which is blaze. So it's black with a blaze.
Okay.
So Zwartbles. But don't worry, because you can always call them Zwartbles. Everybody swallows.
We totally did. Yeah.
No, if you call them Zwartbles, everybody will know what you're talking about. But the Dutch people will cringe, just so you know.
Well, I'm Irish, so what do I care?
There you go. And most people in Ireland call them Zwartbles, not Zwartbles.
Oh, interesting. Well, see, so I just dreamed you up. I was like, I want to talk to someone who farms and raises sheep in Ireland, and boom, you came up. So that's some good search engine optimization, Susanna.
Oh wow, I'm impressed. I'm so untech savvy. I promise you. That's why we're running so late, because I was pushing all buttons and everything. I need my tech savvy people, over my shoulder doing this and this. But phew.
Just thrilled that you're here. So, how did you first get involved in farming? Was it something you always wanted to do?
Yes, I've always been involved with family or relations to do with farming and the countryside. And when I was one of those early severe dyslexics, when you were just lazy child. And I went to a special school, and through my younger years, I had an incredible knack with animals. And I loved farming in the outdoors because there was nothing to do with the blackboard, reading or arithmetic or spelling. And I just love nature, wildlife, animals, farming, etc. And I went to a school in Vermont called the Sterling College, which is about farming with nature. They are now associated with Wendell Berry, which is fantastic. But you basically learned about the importance of soil. The Bible at that school was a book called Soil and Civilization. And it was to do with nature and farming, and we learned about forestry and how everything integrates as far as science knew at that stage. But what's so fantastic, it's developed on from there. So I've always loved farming.
So when did sheep come into it? Are they part of all that? Like part of keeping the land kind of rejuvenated, or I don't know how that works.
Well,
this is why I had to ask you on, because I know nothing at all.
Well, they're part of the equation. I had jobs all over the world, breaking and training horses, different farms in France, England, Ireland, and the USA where I worked. I also worked for a wildlife charity in Southeast Asia, and saw the destruction of the rainforests and the palm oil plantations and all these kind of things. And I didn't come back to Ireland until 1997. And I came back home here because I'd picked up a tropical disease, which had left me bedridden for like 3 years. No. And I came here, and the land slowly healed me. Farm has been in our family for many, many generations, like 8 generations. And the old garden had vegetables that when I had the strength, I could go out and find that had propagated themselves. and friends brought me pet lambs. So I slowly started building up a flock over 20 years ago. I've been here now nearly 25 years. And when a friend of mine, a neighbor, said, you can't make an income on a commercial flock, you should go for a rare breed or an exotic species, and or a high pedigree. And I couldn't afford high pedigree because I'd been working for a charity, no money, bedridden. So we have a festival here in Ireland called the Ploughing Championships, which is one of the largest agricultural festivals in Europe. And I went there and walked up and down the sheep lines to find a rare breed because I couldn't afford the high-end pedigree. And that's where I came across the Zwartbles, who came here to I think I started off with just one pregnant ewe and 3 ewe lambs. And that was the beginning of my new evolution. And I started off trying to sell them by getting on social media because they were such a rare breed and they were black, and sheep farmers want the white sheep because they're easier for the wool to sell the wool to produce knitted garments, et cetera, and that's how it was a kind of organic evolution. My whole business has been a really extraordinary organic evolution of how it evolved to where I became a blanket designing shepherd. But the main thread through the whole thing has been the environment and farming with nature. And I was using the sheep as a herbivore to graze the fields for the meat and the wool. What's so brilliant about the Zwartbles sheep or Zwartbles sheep is that they're a trifecta breed, that you can eat it, milk it, and you can wear the knitted garment. And to me, that covered so many bases in a broad spectrum of things. Now, when I came home here, the people who'd been renting the land from my grandparents were regular commercial farmers, if you will, who fertilized the land, limed the land, et cetera, So it was the soil life had been hindered through the artificial fertilizers, because most fertilizers that are used in most farmland around the world are petroleum-based fertilizers, which will make the grass grow and things like that. And oh, look, you've got a video of my sheep galloping. So it's taken years of slow work to regenerate the soils and the land and the biodiversity, because the highest percentage of biodiversity is on that 10 meters into the woods and the 10 meters out into the pasture land. And to have that high biodiversity, you need the herbivores to be grazing, because the bottom part of the pyramid, you've got the soil. And when that is really healthy, you then get the insect life. And the insect life believe it or not, they need the manure and the urine and the microbiology within the rumen, and that the herbivore, excuse my language, shits and pisses out. They need those high nutritious vitamins and minerals.
Oh no, we lost her. But it sounds like poop is good for the soil. That's what I'm thinking.
It's like those old commercials, stir up the Campbell. Poop is good food.
Let's see if we can get Suzanna back in. Hang on.
Let's go for it. Meanwhile, we can look at some really cute lambs and things. She's got some busted up looking lambs there. Look at those things with the necks.
Will you stop it? That's just how they look.
No,
she takes very good care of them.
Those are alpacas.
I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at my messages.
Look at their necks. They're alpacas.
Oh, those ones. But the lambs?
Well, there are lambs, and then there's alpacas too.
Well, the lambs are the ones I was talking about.
Right. Mary had some. But
have you ever you've been to a farm, obviously, at some point in your life, like for a field trip or something?
My gramps had a farm. So my mom's dad had a farm. And
my parents definitely did not.
Yeah. So, and I've been around, there's different farms, of course. There's the ones where you grow things, there's ones where you raise things, and, quite different arrangements, And the one thing about Zwartbles that I had read before the interview was that, like she said, about the trifecta kind of situation. You can eat them, you can milk them, and you can deal with their wool. So, I mean, to me, I'm surprised that they're not more popular, except for the fact that the wool is dark.
Her stuff is beautiful. You should look at the website. But first of all, I have to point out, look at everybody saying hey to everybody in here. Leslie's like, hey, good morning. Everybody's like, good morning. So in case we didn't say it, good morning, everybody. We're very happy to see you. And Chris's parents joining from the kitchen, wherever they are.
So where am I going?
So the website.
TBLES Ireland. Suzanne's back.
Okay. Let me give her a second to get her devices connected up.
Yep.
I'm back again.
Welcome back.
Okay, so you were talking about poop.
I was talking about poop.
My favorite topic.
Poop. I even have a book here called The Call of Nature. It's all about dung and dung beetles and how important they are to biodiversity. There are dung beetles all over the world, except for in the Arctic and the Antarctic. And they are as important, if not more important, than pollinators, because they mine the poop down and bring stuff up again that recycles the minerals. And with modern farming and technology, with the advent of the artificial agriculture fertilizers, they don't allow enough vitamins and minerals for the microbiology in the soil, the nematodes, the springtails, the mycorrhizal life and funguses and all the bacteria and microbiology. And they're all mixed together. And you need this cocktail, which includes the herbivore, be it a horse or a sheep or a cow, to have and initiate the biodiversity. Because if you have the good soil on the bottom, the next layer is the multi-species sward of different flowers, herbs, and forbaces, which is beautiful in the field. It does take management. And then you have the insect life that's...
Oh, no.
We go to quite a long distance to get people from diverse places.
Oh, no.
Every now and again, they're just kind of...
certain parts of the United Kingdom are not known for their internet connectivity. Just say that.
So
there's Suzanna again.
Oh, grand.
Yep.
Broadband is not the best thing.
No. Well, you might. Your audio is crackling a little bit. I don't know if you can hold your phone or something. Just let's see if it helps.
Let's see. Does that work?
I don't know. You have to say more things. Say more things.
Hello. Testing.
Works a little. So regenerative farming then, is it like, what's kind of the underlying philosophy? Is it that fertilizers and chemicals and other things aren't necessary?
No, they're not. Those kind of things are not necessary, because when you have the correct biodiversity of plants, you have deep roots and shallow roots and legumes and all these different things with the mycorrhizal life and the microbial life. They all interchange what is needed. So your phosphates and your nitrogen and all these kind of things are naturally fixed and naturally come into the plant life. It's regenerative farming is about regenerating the soil. A lot of people think it's organic or a different version of conventional farming. It's regenerative farming is purely about regenerating the soil. And you have to, it's not a box ticking exercise. You have to understand what your soil needs, because, for example, even here on the island of Ireland, we have so many different kinds of soils that are boggy, loamy, clay, all different soils, which need various different kinds of biodiversity of plant life to sustain it and work it. So you can't tell one farmer how to do it and think all the farmers can do it the same. It's you very much have to think and observe your land and the nature throughout it to figure out how best it's what the livestock rate you need, if it's cows or sheep or pigs or horses, and it enhances the environment and the biodiversity. And this is what's hugely important at the moment, is that this form of land management of mob grazing cattle or sheep and moving them constantly through the fields allows plant life to regenerate and the soil to regenerate, because the cow or the horse or the sheep will poop in one place and pee in another. And it's
very organized of them, really.
Yeah. It's very organized. Well, see, we've only been using artificial fertilizer for what, less than 100 years? And there's a huge number of farmers all over the world, and it's a movement of the farming community and environmental farming community that are converting to regenerative agriculture throughout the world. And there's a huge amount of research now that backs it up, which is fantastic. And it's also a form of sequestering carbon, because when you have a diversity of plant life growing on your fields, the root structure, when your cow is eating it and then it's pooping it out, that is carbon going into the soil. The dung beetle is bringing the carbon into the soil. I've got to plug my phone in now. Hold on. Yikes.
Okay.
Well, Susanna, while you're doing that plugging in, I'm gonna jump in and ask a question.
Yes.
When you talk about this, it sounds a lot to me, and as an absolute layperson and idiot, it sounds a little bit like how people are starting in the mainstream are finally starting to understand a bit about microbiomes in our bodies and all that, and gut diversity and all that. But it sounds very similar to the whole storyline of that, making sure that we don't let the bad things, that are in fertilizer, all those things that we try to lock it all up. It feels like to me, this relates to things like the microbiome and gut health. Is that way too, am I really wrong, or is that a primitive way of seeing it, or what do you think?
The microbiology is hugely important. Sorry? Hello?
We're right here.
We hear you.
You can hear me.
Sort of.
The microbiology. Sorry?
You're just crackling a little bit again.
Oh no, I don't know how to stop it.
I don't know either. Oh, she dropped again. Darn it.
That's one way.
We might have to have her back again.
Yeah, we're gonna have to just we'll have to cut this one.
Well, darn it.
So Zwartbleireland.com is the
Is it Zwartbles?
Zwartblosireland.com is the website. And we'll just grab Susanna back when we have a chance to get a better signal and make it work a little bit better. So won't be any backpack question or anything like that tonight, but we'll just give it a rub and pick it up another time.
Go look at the website though, and she's got a book that we can talk about next time we have her back to get children interested in farming.
All right.
All on her website.
We tried. We gave it a go.